Well, as you can see here, the glitch is back. The glitch is back. And they took it down very quickly. I'd like to thank Amy Reed for sending me this morning and giving me permission to use this. I don't know where it was originally filmed. I just know here you go. They did a good job zooming in on it too. See the glitchy side? You get a blast as it coming over here. Like, let me analyze this. Right, you get some blast coming down here, right? And you got this going over the top. Mm-hmm. So you're going to end up with a hell of an interference area here. Earthquake risk through here, right? Because this is EMF does it. And you can start to see starting off the blast right there. And then it goes full plasma. Boom. She's up and out. They ain't a glitch when I predict it, okay? I told you they'd have to go full on down this end to push this storm across the middle. So I was expecting this. I've been looking for that. I was actually asleep when it happened. And then they went to radar service unavailable. They hid it. But not in time before you very diligent watchers caught it. And I love how you zoomed in on that like that. That was well done for all of us. I mean, really. And to show that they then turn it off. Well, I predicted the glitch. This is the predicted glitch. Ding. You ding dongs. It's a predicted glitch. C36 is here yet? You see it yet? That's that beam going underneath. Actually making a straight line. Uh-huh. It's actually influenced the weather. This is not a full glitchy circle. This is, if you believe that excuse, I'll sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. Oh, you want to buy the Sydney Opera House? Second hand? Fixer upper? Leaky roof, I hear. Isn't it horrendous when they hide facts from you people themselves? Oh, and thank you very much for sending me that, and I minimize that, and I may go back to it. Who knows what hair hits my ass this morning? All right, we are live and hi there as well. I am Marie and Margaret Lloyd. Now I'm gonna go. Let's see, we're rolling here. Which one's actually on? Oh, it's this one. Okay, so this can go off. If I hit the wrong screen, this is what I see when I go live. All right, if I hit share screen, all I'm gonna see is this. Hey, can I show my hair? Nah, I'm not gonna. See what I mean? It's all I see is this. I never see your comments. All I'll do is I'll go here and I'll go, wow. Okay. Did you go, wow? Yeah, I was having a look here over in what's going to be making this storm rage across the western United States today and over the next 3 or 4 days. As it's going to dump a shed load of snow along the coastal regions of the United States on the west coast. These are ship trails, as we sometimes call them. And sometimes I think they're sounding rockets as well being used. But we well picked these up for years. Yeah, look at this. All out here feeding this, causing dynamic flows to occur to push this down coast into the United States, Oregon, Washington State, and on over. Yes, I'll get to Australia. How can I not? You guys are going to cop it today. I'm going to give you an in-depthness. It's 7:00. Did I even give you the good morning, folks? It's 7:42 a.m. on the 30th day, 11th month, 2022. I don't know. I'm on autopilot this morning. You ever set something down and never be able to find it again and you're the only one in the room? Yeah. I have one doing my head in a cup. I'll show you some boom boom plums here. Individual payloads. Boom, 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 boom. Creating that. And here's some more beginning to detonate or released in their catalyst, and a notification of your weather going out over here or whatever the hell that is. A little man in a hat. Yeah, he's just looking at his phone. Too many people looking at their phone while the flower of death is being blown off over the oceans, toxifying life. And this is right here over Eureka! Chemtrail, chemtrail, chemtrail. Big old shadow over the forest. The shadow of this, so that tells me the sunlight's direction was here. Right, we'll do our determinants. So if we see an odd shadow over here, we know we get something different been laid. That's right, you gotta watch what's been laid, man, or you're gonna get laid, and not in the way you like it. 6 feet under is not a place you want to lay. Hello, Snowy Mountains. Hey, Fork. Campam City. Hey, Ruth. Oh, my. V for Vendetta goes unheard too much. Whiskey Town. Hey, there's an area to go visit. Welcome to Whiskey Town. Oh, somebody's got to tell me the stories. I'm going to do some Googling. Now, this is an oddness. Now, where's the shadow of this one? Well, the sun, when this has yielded that shadow here. I watched the shadows. because I'm well aware they're spraying a certain black things in the sky. To nail the exact substance is only to be able to say we've suddenly been picking up graphene oxide over the past years. Or graphene, I should say. Carbon nanotubes would be the correct term to use in the air. But actually picking up oxidized graphene is happening. What in the absolute is that? That's an oddball. It's very odd. Must be very high up. Getting that shadow. Right, altitude has a lot to do with shadow games as well. That's an oddball. Or unless we're getting a refraction on the chem itself acting like a prism. And that's possible. Chem bombs suck, man. Hey, Chico, how you getting it by the man today? You ever watch that show, Chico and the Man? Yeah, what a programming that was. Uh-huh. They call them programs for a reason. Ain't figured that out yet? Salt Lake City's looking a bit salty. That's the last full image I had of the planet. As I go over to here. And notice the square. When you're looking in from space, you see squares. These are ladders. These are push moves. Boy, are you going to get it on that side of that, and that hemmed all that up over here, that hemmed all that over here. Big blast went out directly from here, as we seen it this morning. And do we see the evidence of electromagnetic frequency in a curve? We absolutely do. Around that area, if you drew a circle, you'd notice something. You definitely will be noticing something. Because here's the area here. And if I speed this up, you'll watch the pulse go out on the low deck down here. Look, down in the low deck on the ocean, we should be right about here. Boom. That's evidence that this has done something more than just glitch a circle onto a radar screen. It's actually affected the flow and the weather. You see it here on the low deck. Faster. Bzzz. Coming out from the station. Curve coming out from the station. Excuse me. It's held off all the clouds. It's going to send a hell of a pulse across the nation. Takes a while to get there. I know that's fast and all, but this is the best way to see the standing waves. Where the one that just stays there, like if I hold my cursor here, that one tendril just keeps nucleating in the same spot. And it's not a round, puffy cloud moving a line. This is sickness mix dispersing here over Euclid. 100% sure. Not a doubt in my mind. It looks a little bit different than your old cloud you used to look at laying on the grass saying, hey, look at the elephant. Hey, I see a clown. Well, when I look at this, guys, I see a bunch of clowns are doing stuff in our sky. And I think it's very, very, very saddening to me. Very, very saddening. In a V shape. Bomb, 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 bomb going off there. Bombs going off over here. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Militarily. With military precision, I should add. Like something's coordinated, is what that means. I've never seen a button that said chemtrail on, chemtrail off in a jet aircraft cockpit. I've traveled. There's been over 250,000 miles I've flown. It's probably why I got so much cancer. It's very bad up there, the air and what you're subjected to waveform-wise. Them big blasts like this here, if you was flying over this area when that was going off, you got a radiation dose. This microwave is a form of radiation. Radiation isn't always like fallout from a bomb. Radiation comes in many, many forms. I have to have a sip of drink. I'm still just got up, but I saw that. I saw the predicted glitch was out. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are bombs. See the square edges? Not naturally occurring weather formation. Man has changed the composition of the atmosphere so much that it's naturally occurring weather formation is very hard to occur. So the conditions have to now be done. I think they've actually hit a tipping point probably about 5 years ago when I noticed the methods changed. And they have changed. They've actually succeeded, the geoengineers is the they in this case, of making around big circulation storms. One of the first ones I've seen done. I'll show it to you. It's off the coast here. Right out here. It's one of the first round ones I've ever seen them do. It's not all flattened out. So they're getting better at their craft. But I wonder if they're using magic. So when I zoomed in, I saw something a bit disturbing. If I'm lucky, I could find it. So you see the squares on the inside, but they're getting very good on the curved vortexes. And we know with the CGI how quickly they can say that something doesn't occur, right? That it's not there. It's very easy for them to do. But you ain't telling me that beam didn't go all the way under here out to here, because I see the evidence of it. Those beams go very far. They'll go on as far as their energy allows them until something stops it and bounces it back. And I've seen lots of rune-looking things. I'm trying to find this one. I actually seen 3 6s drawn like you would see on Damien's head. I thought I'd be able to see it straight away. But, that's just the Imaginarium bit you call. But I'm noticing coincidences, even looking in this storm here, that looked really round from afar. You see the geometrics of it. You see almost like they used a square. Puff, 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 puff. Booms going here to sustain in a triangular formation. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 2, 2. Predictable formations is stuff that's yielding different color clouds. In this case, something green. The ice is refracting in a way that's yielding the green. Or the sun angle going through it is allowing that at that moment. Or the sensor isn't working right that far north. Up north, things go weird in the winter time. You start getting a lot of browns in your imagery. Right, I noticed that from the shadows. Some of these places up here, they're under darkness. They'll be under 24 hours a day for quite a few more months. They get no sunlight at all. There's no imagery to show on that. And the people on the ground will verify that it's going, look at the eye. They get good at this. Now, this was so obvious, I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on it. I probably have a screenshot of it. But I'm not going to get into that today. I'd like to do a geosculpting show and show you some of my collection of the faces in the clouds. So they've been doing a lot of stuff off the coast there of Alaska. So a lot of spraying goes on over this, where they get those king crabs. I mean, they're ingesting all this fallout. Yeah, that's not all butter on your crab. And this was that vortex a day before. They moved it quite a distance. And you see how angular it is and how these brush strokes have come in and blurred out the image. So you can not see clearly. Not seeing Nazis. That's right. You got Nazi skies. They don't want you to see things. Things are being hidden from you. But that's an awful gray area. Did we have a shadow cast over the Earth yesterday? Was there an eclipse I didn't know about? Has a craft or something passed between the Earth and the Sun to give us this shadow? This is a very strange image. It's the only thing I can use to explain the top of such a vast area. I often see this during an eclipse. Yeah, so something has occurred here that cast a shadow during this time, when the satellite image went over here on the 29th. It's an obvious. This is just reading shadows on the top of a cloud deck isn't being a conspiracy. It's saying, well, isn't that different? So let's go back across the date line and let's have a date with Destiny over here and have a good look at what's going on over Chemstralia. And here we definitely lives up to its name. A line of boom boom plumes came along and looks like the wind's that direction. This one here is just starting to cluster fuck you with cluster bombing of whatever the hell's in these payloads. That one's pointed that direction. That's pointed that direction. And they're cylinder looking. And all that microwave popcorn down on the low deck you guys were showing me down here. Look at the curve pattern of that. Like something's in the center here, 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 and here, and went off. And put up the catalyst needed for the microwaves to condensate it in that pattern you were seeing. Microwaves, throwing the people in the microwave. I have some Maury for you and you and you. Have it in a Rabri tool. And hell for Inverell. What the fuck is that? Okay, what does Inverell mean? That's got to mean something. Are you in Varel now? And should we just call the town Varel? Somebody says, where are you? You're in Varel. Okay, they wrote it on a map. Was somebody that much of a numbnut that was filling out the maps? Hey, Tamworth. Bzzz, getting you fried. Streamers in the air. The skeleton rib bone skies. What do they want from us? They want us 6 feet under? Or they want us with pickaxes as good slave. When the big ass appears, it's not Superman in your skies. This is shit weather. This is geosculpted. Somebody might have signed their work. This is Sammy Melvin's boom boom plume. Sammy's plume. Yeah, over. Oh my God, Muswell Brook. Muswell Brook, you got talk. Hey, remember, if they shake you more than twice, you're playing with it, and if they spray you more than twice, you're fucked. If they spray you more than twice, and you allow it, they're playing with you. Hey, Den Man, how you doing in the den today? How's the man cave feeling? Or your she sheds? What the fuck is that? A man can't even have a shed his own? You gotta have a she shed? Man can't have his own cave? And man go out his cave and find curtains in it. Man don't go in the curtain cave and say, fuck this, man, I'm gonna put tools up on the wall. Or maybe the woman appreciated it, though, if you did, if she was crafty, of course. Oh, my God. How many directions to the wind did you have going here? Did some craft take off that was about that long? Hugely long. And did you see it? What the fuck is up with this? Straight line cloud here. It's 5.5 kilometers long. I had it on 5.5. I saw 5.5, and this fucking cunt in me now. Haunting me. Yeah, I just woke up. If you don't like my swearing, I don't either. So, but it happens. It comes out. I find it embarrassing. Kemba bomb, bomb, bomb. I ain't warmed up this screen, man. I ain't even had no music playing. Alexa, what is a chemtrail?
The chemtrail conspiracy theory is based on the erroneous belief that long-lasting condensation trails are chemtrails. The condensation trails are line-shaped clouds produced by aircraft engine exhaust or changes in air pressure, typically at aircraft cruise altitudes several miles above the Earth's surface.
Several miles.
Chemtrails are composed primarily of water, in the form of ice.
Primarily. She used the word primarily. Of course they primarily is. That's what condensates around the piece of crap they spread in the air. She even admits it right there. Chemtrail conspiracy theory. Based on erroneousness. This ain't erroneous. I'm showing it to you. It's odorous. It's the odorous among us that even Gwar don't approve of. Hey, they got some can here and we'll can ya. Or did they put you in the can here? Hey, it's nice to see some green down here. But if you was camping down here at that time, boy, I bet that's Mosquitoeville now. Anything that was dried up in the muds down there has come to life. You'll have croaking toads and everything down there. And the wee and the croaking toads, and the toads they croaked. I'll tell you what, when those type of creatures start having problems, we got problems, because they've been around for millions of years and we ain't. Look at that streamer of erroneousness. Here's some erroneousness. That was very erroneous. Hey, look, here's some erroneous. That's a chemtrail. A chemical catalyst in the sky that's on the chart of elements there, the periodic table. It is a chemical. If it's leaving a trail of cloud or smoke, it is a chemtrail. Sorry if you don't like the definition. I'm talking balloons, though. I'm not talking a jet plane doing this. You know, when I say it's a jet plane doing it, I'm making a vast assumption. But when this high in the atmosphere, and I know it's above the operating altitude of the jet, then it's not the jet. It's the balloon program, the Scope X, the Project Loon as well you need to look into. I'll show you the docs where it says all these things. That'll be another special show that I'll do off Facebook because I'm tired of losing accounts for reading documents. But I will. I take it for the team again. We're going to take it in our noses and in our bodies, and it's going to get lodged in our tissues, and the aluminum showing up in our heads isn't just from adjuvants. It isn't just from your deodorant. Most of it comes from the sky every day. Every day. We're picking it out in the fallout, and aluminum doesn't just exist. You ain't going to pick up a rock and say, hey, this is aluminum. You could pick up a rock and say, this has alumina in it, and you have to process it to get it out. So if it's in the sky, in our atmosphere, we put it there. We as a species. And that's wrong. That's pollution. And it's toxic. And it causes memory lapses and all sorts of malaises. And it also, when combined with a fluoride molecule, breaches the brain barrier and blood barrier fantastically. Look at the plume here. Going off with like fireworks inside. This is geoengineering. This is not cloud seeding. Know the difference between the two. Something may have got very dark here. Something went and made a big shadow, or something dark got put down. I'd go with the shadow. It'd be very tall. And inside the shadow, you see other squares of stuff has been deployed on a lower deck. So there's a lot used here to take the sunlight away, to create a coolness even on the ocean that'll cause a rush of air, right? That cool breeze, or that rush of air from the hot toward the cold, which helps fuels circulations, get them started for storms. So they're making a dancer out here, and I do have a worry about this area. I'm determining. I'm doing it live. You've had a beam come down here. See the arc line? And you definitely had a beam. Of that is, I'm positive. Right here at the end, look. You get beam coming up here. See the big blast? That's bad news for some of these islands up here. Sorry if that jumped like that. Very bad news. See how the clouds move, but the line stays in place? There's no mountain range out here in the middle of the ocean that could do that. That's the energy form doing it. So like I say, most likely you have a ship out at sea out there that has the devices on it capable of doing that. And if you got two ships, you could string a grid between the two, and you can make a Harper ray out on the ocean. You can't stretch a net that has these antennas on it. There's very complicated things that can be done scientifically that are not only patented, it's obviously being deployed. Something's been deployed in that direction. See the arc here? It's different from that here. There's a secondary device that's come out that pushes that moisture there. It sends a line down to New Zealand, and it's going to ride this corridor of this line right here, which is going to put the earthquake risk right here in the chromatic trench right about here, because there's another beam that's come across. It would be big because it's deep there. When they disturb the walls of the canyons that go down in the deep ocean over here in the chromatic trench, they have a long way to fall. So huge rushlides make underwater make earthquakes as well. It's not always a slipping of a fault, and that's what I look at a lot for earthquake prediction. And I'm going to give you one today. I'm giving you a warning for this area here, because you have a beams come through here, a beams come through here. If a white island doesn't steam, you're fucked. It's going right through the volcanoes here. So I'm going to increase the quake risk for your magma chamber down here. It's going to rumble. I'm sorry to say that, but I just read an image. You don't shoot the messenger like you love doing. I'm not bulletproof, you know. Gee, she lit up on the coast suddenly, didn't it? She suddenly lit up on the coast. Did anything EMF occur in the coast? Has anything occurred? Is it possible that got picked up on Mimic? You know it did. You know it did. She's lighting up like a candle over there. Watch your beam sweats. Look what they did to isolate storms over Darwin. You got a wall here, a push here. Here comes the water. It's coming into here. Are they gonna do the cyclone? I don't know yet, because I've been seeing some stuff that's not cool. So right, let me give you some snow totals for the next 3 days along the west coast of the United States and into Canada. These are very high. Travel through here is going to be treacherous. This is in inches. Well, I'll switch over when I get over to Australia, with some gaps in predictable mountain passes. Oregon, your high mountain's going to get it. Some of the plains are going to get less where it drops down into here. I'll show you, like, let's say, like Bend, Madras. But the line is heavy. But over the next 10 days, you ain't escaping it. You're right on that edge, which is good. So you have some kind of a heat effect down here. I've noticed this in this valley, which is good for the folks that live there. But man, the people up there, I hope you're ready. And you're not gonna be using the roads for a bit, or you'll be using those cool vehicles you got. You're gonna get 6 inches over the next 24 hours, so it says, and then you're gonna cap it. It's a big one coming in. Yeah, in some of the places as I move further north into Washington State, whammo. The only thing saves Seattle itself from the main brunt is the heat of the city generates itself from its existence. Between the EMF and the heat of the people, the cars, the breath of the incessant babbling you hear in the restaurant and all that. It adds to the effect of the weather. In Canada, you got winter has come. Right, it's going to come up into the Hudson Bay up here, up through the Upper Peninsula of Michigan and across which is Lake Superior. Superior, Michigan. I hope I don't get all these right. I probably just did Lake Erie. Erie, the heart shape of Lake Champlain. They have beautiful Art Deco houses along that coastline. Took a drive there once. Oh, 15 inches. Oh, you're getting the foot. Oh, how about Quebec and the cities at Dustin's Miners. So yeah, get prepared. Here she comes. In over the 10 days, whammo! A Dustin. New York again. You're gonna get it, but they often in Buffalo and them get very dramatic snows. That's nothing new. They called it lake effect snow, and in a way it is. When you get the wind blows across here, it picks up a lot of moisture, and it's a pocket of air on land. It gets a sudden lift, and when it goes up, it gets colder, and down she snows. Yeah, it's just a natural thing that happens there. A sudden interaction with a big body of water like this, it has quite an effect. Quite an effect. And if the wind's blowing down like this, it'll ham it up this side. If the wind's coming up there, she carries that side. It's just the dynamics of a storm. So, right, let's have a quick peek. It was good not to see new snow there. However, the true numbers are starting to come through over the 10 days that I issued you a warning for. Right, I was right. Okay, thank you for letting me be myself, world. I stuck my guns. The totals will expect them to proceed further south unless Grafton becomes the owner of the show. You guys are absolutely getting flooded. There's not a doubt in my mind. There hasn't been. I'm just trying not to wind you up. Let's change some of these totals to a metric for you. Before I have a screw up. Put that to cams. Celsius. Yeah, millimeters an hour will be just fine. Decibels is how lightning. How hard was the hit and how many of them you got. You'll use sound to measure them. And impulse generates into the ground, but they don't tell you that part because that's Tesla information. Agnes Waters, I'll start up here. Right over the next 24 hours, 2 centimeters. I'd say be closer to 5 by then. I don't have to agree with them any. I don't have to add validity to my forecast from a statistic that's often wrong. Yeah, often wrong. And over the 3 days, man, it's going to get really rough. The winds and all that are going to be picking up. The surf is going to be relentless. Then you get this smack. But it seems to be a move. You know, you give them a couple centimeters and get these streams swollen, and you hit them with a big batch, and there's nowhere for the water to go. And the runoff going out into here is going to be so toxic for the animals that we need to start thinking about not putting certain things on the land at all. It's the obvious thing to do. That's going to run off here and kill creatures. Or cause them malaises or dysteries out here. Little Bubby Whale blowing that fucking bunch of, let's say, like glyphosate that's been sprayed on people's lines rolls out here. I don't think that's too healthy. Not at all. Or the oil that's on the roads. That's dripping off people's cars and trucks. Or the things you spill at the petrol station when you see those people that don't care. So there's some barely big areas that are going to get fucked. It's so hard to watch this part of the show. And doing it, guys, it's difficult. Rainbow Beach, my God. And every one of these is going to get a drag. So as it moves down south, this side will tend to get it worse. I haven't really looked at your winds yet. And it's blowing up that'll hold it off. That's not good, because as she comes over, it'll drag the top of the storm and fold some rain down that side. Be careful out there in your boats. Be very careful. Just stay safe. That's all I want. It's hard to say safe in a world bent on hiding harm. Hashtag expose the 28. Hey Wolvie, how you doing? I'm gonna Wolfman, he's gonna cam your ass, he's high. Boom, boom! Let's go over here and have a look. Yeah, I didn't waste no time, did I? Oh, we got a waveform going north. See it underneath the low deck here as I go up and down, up and down. Ding dong, another glitch ain't dead. These are the kind of glitches that thrive in the water. They're not melting. The only thing melting are the snowflakes. Don't believe that geoengineering is real. This is not erroneous. This is heinous. This is horrendous. It's far from erroneous. It's odorous. It's among us. It's wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. Regardless of any other adjective you could pick, you are either right or you are wrong in life. And this is wrong. It's wrong to think that we're more important than any other species on this planet. That's the big wrong of all. And the fact that we think we could play God. God often has a way of showing up and correcting you and showing you who God is. And I think it's time. It's time for God to show up. You are God sometimes, and you need to take this into your own hands, because if you do not help yourself, you will not be helped. Take the plank out of your eye and smack the system with it, because you see what's going on. You're too afraid to speak because your friends won't like you. They ain't your friends. They're the ones poisoning your planet. They're the ones holding you back from being who you know you are. You know you're here to do something bigger than just eat an ever smash in the morning. You're here to do something bigger than say, look how fast I can drink this beer. You're here to do marvelous things. You're here to be great. So do that. Don't let anybody stop your greatness, because they themselves choose to be mediocre in an erroneous way. Erroneous. Alexa, what does erroneous mean?
The adjective erroneous is usually defined as containing error, mistaken, incorrect, wrong. For more, ask me to give you more definitions for erroneous. Did that answer?
Says straying from what is moral, decent, and proper, as well as definition 2. Thank you, Alexa. Well, they are straying from what is moral. This is definitely not decent, and this is definitely not proper. So, in fact, what I'm showing you here is, by definition, erroneous. So we will have to get a new definition into the computer, because that is wrong. I'll tell you another one. Nah, I'm going to be nice. I'll stick with the weather for a few minutes. If something is 50-50 works, is it effective? Or is it defective? Or should nothing be done at all? If there's half a chance of something not working. Ask yourself that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 chem bombs. Chem bombs, they came and took away some ocean life. It settled to the bottom, hidden from our eyes. My God, just the thought of that. He's pulling my heartstrings. You're goddamn right I am. If I don't pull your heartstrings, I have no hope left, because the government's pulling your strings. They'll show you a program with an Attenborough in it blaming global warming when man has done something here in the sky and microwaved you. Microwaves heat water, heat the earth. And when you lie about the statistics because you own the company that holds the statistics and you're funding the program that wants what the statistics are telling you it wants, I think you're being doopity-dooped. Don't be a doopaloompa. Please. Use your heads. You're smart enough to be on here watching this. You should be smart enough to say that 1 + 1 still equals 2. On the internet, I swear to God, people argue that. Well, on the nanoscale. Ah, nobody wants to understand what we're saying. They want to nitpick your words these days. Well, there ain't no nitpicking what's out here in the ocean. It's such an erroneous thing that's being done to us all. This is absolutely erroneous. Yeah, you'll regret that word. The word of the day is erroneous. This is not decent. This is not moral. This is unethical. One, two, three, four, five. This must stop. Where's like the fifth element? Aziz, light. And we need light on this planet. Aziz, light. Y'all remember that from the fifth element? I might work that in. Aziz, wake up. I always like that scene. Aziz, light. Spaceship comes down. Thank you, Aziz. I love that movie. That's a really good movie. Multipass. You liking your multipasses yet? Well, the multipassing gas is over the top of your fucking heads right here. Numbnuts. Really, my patience sometimes is gone. You can say all the shit you want about me, but one thing you will not say is I was wrong. Right? And if I was wrong, and you persecuted me, you would have been one in the crowd voting for Barabbas, wouldn't you? Because somebody was saying something that... What did they rumor about Jesus that they voted the other guy off the cross? You know, I often wonder this. If they'd have had social media, how far would that have gone? He wouldn't have made it out of his town. And we got the vag clouds going here again. Look, got the crack and everything. Boy, does that need a shave. But close shave for all of us when these chem bombs got together. Boom, bada boom, boom. How many directions of the wind did you get here? Yeah, one going the top this way, one coming that way. I'm going to back it up. Two directions of flow. This came in up that way. One driven by the radar underneath that direction down the low deck. See? Their chemicals have mixed. Some's risen up, some's risen down. And you got the resin in the middle layer. And man, they're smoking the resin on this. Look at the boom here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a square in the center. All with streamer lines pointing at it. Pointing at it. Okay? It's not a jet plane. This is the chem bomb method done with the Scope X type delivery system. Or something from higher altitude in space, which I will not get into. It's too hard to prove. All you could do is show movies that say, look, they show us this. And people go, yep, that's a movie. But I can prove Scope X, so I'll stick with that. And it's a roving microwave emitter. So you got something floating by blasting your asses. And you was worried about cell phone towers on your fucking hill, and I was telling you, look what's in the sky. Look up. How are you going to stop that one? You're making all these plans, spending all your money protecting yourself from something on the ground, and here's this one over the top. Even the Musk system of satellites that some people say, oh, UFOs. Yeah, it's the string of fucking bullshit pearls of his. And China's got their own setup there, and so does Russia, because they don't trust our GPS. So they have their own. It's up there. It's blasting down on the whole planet anyhow, and you just got to take in the total toxicity of the picture of the absolute blasting of our mother. It's unacceptable to me, the total toxicity picture that Gaia herself is being put under by the actions of one species. And you think that this species ain't going to be treated like a feces by the earth? Huh? There's many evidence of that. In the clay layers and silts of the earth, as the various resets have occurred, you've got a dust blowing off your coast. Look at the different color here. That's dust. Desert dust. Headed somewhere else. Could go get hooked back in a storm and come back in here. There's a lot of dust, actually. See how clear it is there? Right? Go back on that stripes. It's clear. And I come back. Dust. They got you dustified, gritty eyes. Right turn, Clyde. Hey, let's head to Albuquerque. That must be Albuquerque. Gotta take the right turn to Albuquerque. Oh, there's food around the corner to destroy. Food around the corner to destroy. Food around the corner to destroy for the geoengineers. Hallelujah, brothers. Remember that one? Yeah, I love my cartoons. All it is now is somebody riding your head, banging it with a hammer, going, I want an Easter egg, I want an Easter egg, I want Easter eggs. Babyface Finster. Chem bomb Finster. What a bunch of shysters doing this shit to you as the wicked glitch rides again. Bzzzt. See? Watch this. Watch the video. And thank you again, Amy Reed, for sending this and focusing in on it. That was nice. To hold your phone sideways, you get the whole blast. You can even see the evidence of that going underneath it. And then they turned the radar off so you can't see it anymore. And then I showed you what it did. And then it's going. Bzz, 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 bzz. And the more further data. And she blasted. Suddenly the microwaves nucleated here that weren't there before. See? And then they're there. Nothing. No clouds to see here. Creation of cloud geoengineering. Now that can be seeded because it's a cloud. You can't seed what is not there. So you gotta make the ground the cloud that the seed goes in. Right? Right. Ding dongs. Don't be a ding dong, man. Geoengineering is quite real. Quite real. Thank you so much for this particular image. That's the blast for your ass before this one cuts underneath and a cloud forms. Yep. Then it turned off. A pulsation is occurring. Boom, boom. And then they turn the radar on there. And the pulse comes on again. And they shut the radar off. Just like that. They do not want you to see things. Do you feel you're being ruled by not sees yet? Well, when I look at what's going on with the election here, I know you have. Well, look at what went on here. And then to celebrate it, they're frying you in the microwave here, right over Melbourne. Get a big ray of microwaves pointing out here to see. Would you think you might have a device here? Could there possibly be a ship out here where the square is? I think so. The weather is a combination. You got some terribleness is coming today. So I'm going to resume back. I'm going to let this roll. And you guys to do your determinants. I'll do the whole country at once. In New Zealand. Why not? Okay, here's your today. According to the ECM weather fuckers, who I get their shit wrong too often. Yep, here comes the cyclonic system into the Bay of Carpentaria, or the whatever they call that area, the waters. Will there be enough drag from the land to send her south? Will they put the glitch on? Will she head in? We're watching as a cyclonic system heading toward the third, isn't it? So they were right about that. It's not a rager though, because on the third they were showing a rager right in the center. Now the circulation's there, it's gone over the top. According to them. See, here's where I get to fuck with Higgins. That's according to them. Yeah, I'm tired of feeding his ass. I was tired last night. I didn't give another forecast. Okay, let Higgins do it. You guys pay him well. Me, I was tired. I know I can give a better forecast today if I was not tired. Alright, let's see if this is possible even. What the hell pressure's feeding that? That's not even down in the 900s. That's pure chem feeding. Chem is the only thing creating the dynamics for that. And it's inside the cloud itself in the layers. It's the only thing I could see feeding that. That's not high enough to do that. You ain't got no access to it. Now, your bubble up is as cold's coming in from here. And it'll actually come straight up and in. So that'll be fueling this stuff through here. That's actually going to fuel that up there. This comes here. You've had 3 cuts. Boom, boom, boom. And I showed you the beams. Right? See what else we can read. Come on. One difference at 2 is not a difference in a low. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't buy that. This should just be listed as a 1,000 low. And that shouldn't even be shown. It just should be elongated. So that's telling me that ain't even low in the center that was turning. And that should go low. When it makes a move like that, naturally that should go lower. So all you got to do now is turn the chem off. And turn the EMF off up here. And you would have a cyclone off this coast. It would form probably within about 12 hours. But they've already got that here. So just send that to New Zealand with an EMF cut. Bam. Send that away. This is free to roll into itself. Like rolling up a Swiss roll. Full of chem and crap and water. And just walk it down the coast. Every time you got a jut out thing like a sticky outfit, it has a bit of a drag. And Bundaberg is a decider. It gets up to here, and it drags either a little bit inland and splits half of itself off and comes in like this, which I suspect is going to happen, and send the rest down the coast to do the pump. Pump it in, let Lord Howe Island pulse it, and let by then Melbourne's glitches are going to start to show big. Yeah, big. So you could expect to see some action down here, even a full beam like this. Be fairly certain to see something. Where are they going to move that? That moves a crest. There's nowhere else for it to go. You got a high blocking ridge underneath. It's like having your hand underneath the water. Some will drip through, but you'll hold the pool. And it's turning. Boy, are they going to chem the shit out of you to do that over there between the coastline, over there in the northern rivers, from all the way from here to here. So for like a 5 hours worth of driving, they're going to chem the fuck out of you. And you're not done. Lismore, you're going to get it, I told you. So I hope you stay prepared. Because here comes the flooding of your creeks now. By the 5th, it's on. It's fucking on. And she heads out to sea. My God, look at this. You're fucked. You are so fucked. If you don't think you're fucked, well, I often don't think I'm fucked. It'd be like Braveheart. Sometimes the God's pretty sure you're fucked. I'm pretty sure hey, God says he's going to get me out of this, but I'm pretty sure you're fucked. He was like that guy said. I do love that clip. I'm doing a determining. It's about earthquakes. When you get a turn like this, it causes a pressure pull that not only on the ocean itself, but on the mantle underneath. And by the very actions of that, it causes a little bit of a lift in the seafloor. And as that moves along and hits predictable areas, you can get quakes. And when I see beams intersecting here, right, and I see this moving across, it's going to add to the danger risk heavily. Yeah, I'm worried. And we've been seeing 5s and 6s very regular lately. With the moon position today, 5s is pretty much going to roll across most of the planet. Not too many in the 3.2s from the moon position. I have a lot of factors. Because we're a rotating object, I have to use that as part of my validity for my information, and it seems to work and help in my forecast, and it won't work without it. Yeah, isn't that weird? Also, another thing I've noticed, and you flat earth people could tell me about this one. This has been my biggest thing that I could prove something with. And I've never been able to do a forecast on a flat earth model. I've tried. I try everything, right. I get an EMF blast here, right? Oh yeah, you got hit. And it takes some moisture here. Let's say right here. And it drives it under here. Goes across Antarctica, your ice wall. It should go into another area where there's all these other islands and stuff. But it comes back out, predictably, in the opposite ocean. I've seen blasts from here, say right in a couple days it's coming out here in the Atlantic, and it does. Explain that in your flat earth model. I can't get it to work. That's why you say we're in a spinning round object. I've done everything. I can prove that. I could prove by a storm and a movement of moisture in a cloud. Okay? Explain that one. Uh-huh. Oh, if you don't like my excuse and you have to come up with 500 suns and 15 different moons to do it, it's not valid. You've made things too complicated. There's nothing man makes don't break and need maintenance. And everything God made seems to have broke too. Oh God, look at this beam of shadow off here. This is bad. Oh man. This is a huge blast that has occurred. She's come up and over the pole. And back down. Up over the pole, up over the North Pole, back down, and into the ocean. Even here shows direct evidence of something going up and over a pole and down the other side. That's a big blast. And they can do that once it gets hung up in the magnetosphere, pulls it right back down. We got hit hard today. I'm going to have to do one more thing. I'm going to do one more quick check. Did we get... How's the sun looking today? Solar Dynamic Observatory. The sun now. Let's go to dashboard. Did we have a hit today? Probably. Whammo. They've jumped data again. It's missing. It's missing numbers down here. There's whole hours missing. Whole hours of data is missing down here. Trying to spot these numbers on the very bottom. You'll see they'll have whole frames where hours jump. They did this yesterday. I don't know what the hell that is. It goes up. That is annoying. I'm looking to see if a filament snapped. Some action on the limb, that's for sure. See, just while I was going forward, the image didn't change, but it's jumping down here. That means they just didn't put the image in. They just left it alone. But if it's still moving, you know you're seeing activity. The sun is always moving. He never sits still. There's a jump there. Really big area. That's like one of them looked at sideways. It's like looking across a field of fire. Right, so know that. So you'll get some strange magnetic effects. But that's odd. That's like a tornado of magnetism spinning. A plasma vortex. When you see it sideways, it has a weird look. He had a sunquake go across the top. Watch. Right here. Smiley. You wouldn't want to be touching that smiley face. That's a big filament that blasted in. That's going very far across the sun. Just to look at these images. That thing's spinning sideways like a tornado. See? They're a dancer, I call him. Fucking hell, she shot up. That's what happened. We got hit. Here's the flare right there. We got hit with a flare. There's no doubt about it. See it? And she left. She hit a flare. She left it to space. Okay, energy's out there now. Part of the universe, stardust. There's some stardust for all. Okay, so that answered that question for me. That was important. That is important. Muy importante. What is your weather for the next 2 days? I'm going to roll that some more with the impossible pressures, and we'll turn out the chemtrail particles where they're going to flow. Yeah, I'm going to let this roll. If you find my work of value, you may support it at paypal.me/Robert Deutsch. Or watch one of my jewelry selling things that I'm going to do here shortly. After I have the morning dose. A 2 on the 2s. You get deucey skies, man. Your skies are wild like deuce. They flushed the toilet and it landed on you, and the septic tank seems to be the planet's surface. Anyway, this is unacceptable. From polluting the oceans to polluting the skies to polluting the land, it's still a bunch of polluters, super polluters. And if they keep the same people in office, doesn't stop the pollution in my lifetime, it's time to get rid of the Miss Pollutions and Mr. Pollutions of my life. Yeah, the Pelosi pollution. I'm sorry, a career politician is somebody who's figured out a way to get paid to stay drunk. There shouldn't be a career politician. There should be somebody that got the job done and then went home and tended the family. See how the rotation is occurring inland as well as out to sea? It's Kanban fueling. You got two low centers pushing the storm line, nudging the fudge, if you will. Yeah, that square that nudges and bangs into the next storm, yeah, it moves them. The nudge and the fudge. That's a big nudger. Nudge, 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 nudge. And then you're fucked. Somewhere along the line, Australia dropped a peg, I think. 3 distinct EMF corridors. 1, 2, whoa, 3. Coming down the coast here. 1, 2, 3. I think these will merge. Why? Because they're flooding your asses. They have to. They have to let that go. The trough is ready. It's full of chem. It's a chokeable situation. You're being fucking fried like bugs. Sprayed like bugs. Being told to eat bugs. And this is bugging me. We cannot continue to allow even the thoughts of the type of stuff that's being done over this ocean to continue as a moral that's accepted, because it's erroneous to do so. Don't be erroneous. Don't be the odor among us. We miss him very much, but we don't need another. Big love, people. Gwar that shit. Peace out. Oh, let's go to a different screen. Can't go live twice. All right. Peace out. Start blaming yourself for shit.